But a dead rat I saw today.
What?
I keep seeing dead animals.
I mean, are you sure they're there? Is anyone there that can confirm that you're seeing them?
No, not this particular one. Although I keep seeing... the worst thing I've seen recently was the bereft crow. I saw a grieving crow.
Depressing, I remember that.
So there was the dead crow in the middle of the road, and then I'm sure they mate for life, and its partner. It's definitely mourning. It was horrible. And then there's the pigeon that's been decomposing over time. The hedgehog that looks like a prickly purse at this point. But today there was a rat in the gutter near. There's a very small industrial complex, not a military industrial complex, so I don't have to beware it. But there's a very small industrial complex at the top of my road, and it's just before the entrance to that, and it's like its body is lying flat out as if it were like having a nice lie down, but its head is contorted backwards, almost accusingly, as if to say, "Look what you've done to me. You've killed me. What about my family? Why does no one ever think about the family of a rat?" It was really tragic. You could see the dashed hopes and dreams in that rat's eyes, like it almost had time to contemplate the great void it was about to enter before it finally expired. It was quite a moving thing. I'm okay.
You didn't kill it though, did you?
Well, not that anyone can prove, no.
And you're absolutely sure that these animals aren't healthy until there's not a miasma around you that's killing small animals.
A green miasma and everything dies within a half-metre radius of me. No, I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Well, the smaller animals in your house are fine, aren't they?
They are, yeah. My cat can't get enough of me in the middle of the night. Do you know, I keep moaning that I keep waking up in the middle of the night. It occurs to me, actually, that waking up with a bloody cat's nose in your face doesn't help when you want sort of consistent... unbroken sleep.
No. You're not taking the cats with you on holiday, though, are you? The animals with you on
singular.
holiday?
The cat is going to the cattery that we got him from for a week. She's a very nice lady and, best of all, cheap.
He's not going to think he's going back, is he?
It's impossible for me to tell.
Okay. And the rabbits? The guinea pigs?
Guinea pigs, our friend Jane from the Momcast is looking after.
Okay.
All the fish are dead. So...
when were they last alive?
Oh, months ago.
So maybe the miasma, that's when it started.
So the universe is taking care of them. And the dogs are coming to Devon.
They aren't still in the bowl, are they?
No.
Okay.
The bowl's all ready for new fish to die in. I mean, for new fish.
Why would you fish serial killer?
Well, no, I mean, look, fish born of ladyfish has but a short time to live, especially if they're one of those ones that only live for like a year or so.
Okay.
But maybe it seems longer. I don't know what fish is. The thing is, right, fish are so common in our homes, aren't they? And we worry about, in dog years, she's 60 now. She's getting on, in cat years, he's 70. He's doing really well. Although all cat years my arse, because all cats, apart from Millie, our old cat, live to be about, if cat years are true, live to be about 300, don't they?
Yeah, but I mean, they're long-lived. They've got a lot, we could learn a lot from them.
But it means, I think we've done the calculation. If you're trying to equate the age of an animal to, like, the what was it, 410, isn't it, of a human being, then I think living to 300, no one lives to 300.
No.
Wasn't like the oldest man, 115 years old, and fuck me, don't they look fed up when they are as well? They don't know what's going on, do they?
I don't really. I mean, I can't even imagine it.
Well, I remember seeing Scotty on an episode of The Next Generation. He must have been in his 120s. He was quite spry, so there is hope for us.
I think that's the Scottish.
Do you reckon?
I think so, yeah. I think they live a lot longer. That's actually statistically the opposite of true, isn't it?
No, that's brilliant. Well, that's why they drink and eat Mars bars, is to stop themselves getting that old.
In the future, all things being equal,
yeah.
If your quality of life is better, or if everyone had the same quality of life, Scottish people are much hardier than English people.
Maybe in the future, if Roddenberry's utopian vision comes true, all things will be equal, Nick.
Maybe. Well, that's why Scotty lasted so long.
Maybe.
And also he's Canadian, really.
Well, he was.
He's dead now. And in space. He's actually in space.
Yeah.
So anyway, at this point, you've been on holiday for a week and 2 days.
Yeah, we're either back or coming back.
How did you find it?
It was really nice, really sunny, lovely days on the beach.
Good.
It was okay. We had a few rainy days and spent a few days on the beach. Oh, God, Nick, it was awful. I can't believe it. The bloody British weather, I tell you. We came home after 3 days. I thought to myself, well, I'd rather be at home in the wet than down here, frankly. So, yeah, it was all a bit depressing, really. I've developed quite a serious drug habit. I thought I'd give you editing choices.
No, that's brilliant. But I'm going to put it all together tonight anyway, so I won't have any. I'm just going to put it. It's all going to go out.
Oh, for God's sake!
It was lovely though. Thank you.
I'm like Will Ferrell. I'll give you something. I'll give you a different taste each take.
Yeah. No, I like it. What if, as a director, though, you liked one of the earlier tastes and just wanted that, but better?
I'd probably just sit there saying, "Yeah, do you want to do another one?" until they did it again without me prompting them, because I'd hate to offend.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
I don't think I'd be a good director.
No, I don't think I'd be a good director.
Oh no, you don't have a problem with offending people at all.
It's not. I don't think it's just about offending people, though.
Or maybe you can't help it. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed your holiday, and everyone got back safe, even though you were around all that water.
There's not that much water. It's like a 20-minute, half-an-hour drive to the beach.
But then if it's a 20-minute, half-hour drive to the beach,
yeah, we're close to the water.
But then you accidentally drive for 40 minutes, then you'll end up in the water.
You can't, because it's really hard to. I don't think Nick's car would get up and over the stony bank.
Look, it's confusing. Cars are confusing. Last week we were talking about a car running someone over whose car it was. You can't be sure of what cars will do.
I hilariously dubbed that the anti-Herbie, and I've now written a series of books while I was on holiday. I've written a series of books about the anti-Herbie.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
a young adult.
Herbie Goes Bananas is awesome. Herbie gets refused service for breakfast in the Macdonalds and goes on a killing spree.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Mad Max film?
I haven't.
Oh my goodness. It's very exciting.
Really?
I know you can't really rely on a trailer, but it's very exciting indeed.
I haven't seen that. I saw a film the other day. I'm watching quite a lot of films at the moment. I saw The Hobbit 2, The Empire of Smaug. No, the Desolation of Smaug.
What's happened here, listener, is we're actually recording this on Thursday the 21st. What James is saying is that immediately after this podcast recording, he is going to go home and start watching the Hobbit movie, The Desolation of Smaug. And by the time you listen to this episode, when it has come out, it will have just finished.
Yeah, that's true enough. I enjoyed it much more than I did not care for the first Hobbit movie.
No.
I mean, I had to watch it in three bits because it's too fucking long.
So you're going to watch it like in 9 parts, the whole thing?
Yeah. That short children's book in a 9-hour epic.
I feel like I don't even want the second one in the house. I think I'm over the Tolkien films.
Yeah, I think I might be too. Tell you what cheers me up today. I didn't tell you. I made a really nice Victoria sponge today.
Did you?
My mum came over. In fact, doing this gave me a reason to leave the flat early, so I had to say goodbye to her. So sorry about that, Mum. But yeah, they were coming over, and way of compensation, I made a nice Victoria sponge. I was very pleased with it.
Did this actually happen today?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So I've made 4 loaves of bread. 4 loaves of bread today. I've had a real bakey day. 4 loaves of bread. And if you listen to the last episode, you can hear me talking about the bread. And
it looks a bit like a cock.
Well, they're kind of ciabatta. I took my cue from the Great British Bake Off that had been on that night, because they're making ciabatta, so making sort of something similar. But yeah, Victoria sponge, it was very good. thinking I should make cakes more often. It was very light, very tasty.
Can you write a recipe for the mailing list? I might start the mailing list again.
Yeah, okay, because I although it's the recipe from the BBC Good Food magazine,
Right.
I did add a couple of drops of vanilla extract that wasn't in the recipe, so I can look myself, and I did it in a heart-shaped tin.
It's just, no, that's good, and just stick your name on it.
Yeah.
Try to change some of the sentences
Do you
around.
know, I don't know, but there were so many things like a Victoria sponge, right? It is a classic of the ages. It's been around for a long time. How can anyone claim it for their own?
I don't really understand about recipes because people, at the moment, everyone's like doing their recipe food blog and saying, oh, this is a recipe I got from my mum for lasagna or bolognese or something generic like that. And this is how you do the perfect one. And they write it.
Yeah.
But A, there are already millions of other almost identical recipes on the internet already. And B, well, that's like then your kid's going to come along and they're going to do a blog in the future, but it'll be a holler blog about the recipe that they got from their mum, and it'll be like, if you Google it, only it won't be called Google, it'll be called Space Google.
Zagog.
Google.
Yeah.
Google. It won't even be a word you can write down. And you'll compare it, and it'll be like, well, this is just clearly plagiarised, but it'll be plagiarised from the previous generation.
It didn't occur to me how folksy recipes are. They're handed down generation to generation, always changing, slightly evolving, like folk stories and folk songs. Each new generation puts its own twist on it. So maybe in 200 years' time, like spaghetti bolognese are like to be made out of nails and like rat tears.
The internet's basically killing that whole folksiness, isn't it? Because once you've written it down once, well, just your kid doesn't have to write it down for their kids because they can just go on Google and see great-granddad's blogog, because that's the next wave. So it's blogs now, and then the next wave they're going to be called blogogs, and then they're going to be called holoblogs.
Holoblog.
And the way you'll find them now, you go on Google, and then in the next 5 years it'll be Google, and then what was it? I don't understand how we're not world famous. Well, strictly speaking, we are world famous, but not famous. We are world known.
Do you think there'd be social media at that time, and someone would go, oh, do you know what year they're posting on social media? Oh, do you know what year Blue Peter started? And someone will write back going, yeah, like, you know how people passive aggressively
go to Google.
Go to Google.
I'll it for you.
How are you spelling that?
There'll still be people. It'll be like when you still see someone. There'll still be people using Twitter and Facebook if they're still around. Because it'll be like when you occasionally see someone link to a personal blog post they've done, and it's on LiveJournal, and you have a moment where you're suddenly really confused because it feels like 100 years ago that LiveJournal was the place that people did things, but it was less than 20 years ago. The internet's weird.
What was ICQ? I was quite fond of.
ICQ is a good place to have chats.
Yeah, I like that.
I think I had
chat space.
I think I spent a bit of time single, having chats with strange people on ICQ. They might have been girls, they might have been boys. I don't know. They pretended to be girls. That's what's important.
Dating. It's weird these days, isn't it? Dating, I think, is either very, very difficult or very, very easy. I saw an advert these days. I saw an advert that would make it really easy for me to identify potential partners. There's it's on TV. There's a. I should be careful because we're probably open to advertising on this pod, and that is the sort of advertising you can expect, isn't it? It's sort of internet dating sites potentially,
We could be,
But
that's the most appropriate for us, I think.
I guess I saw an internet dating site called Elite Singles, and the advert featured two very smug-looking, besooted, let's call them besooted shitbags. And I looked at that and I thought to myself, brilliant, I wish I was single, because what I would do, I'd go onto that site and I'd get a list of all of the prospective partners who are on that site, and I could rule them out from people I'd ever want to meet, which is really useful. You really get to narrow down the field of people that potentially you'd like to be with. Although I have to say, internet dating is one of those things. It gives you the illusion that it's really easy to find a partner, but it doesn't actually stop you being a brain-crushingly difficult arsehole to live with, does it? So
I think there's a lot wrong with it, but the problem is it works for a lot. It works for a lot of people, but for the most part, the people I know who are open about being on dating sites are women, and the amount of messages they get, there's the unsolicited sleaziness, which is a bit horrible. But the thing that always depresses me is the people, and I read about them, and they just seem like normal people who don't have a clue. Not actually nasty or misogynistic or creepy, just useless, incapable of. And
what worries me a little bit more, framing this in a sort of, well, my daughter has to grow up into this world that we're creating at the moment. I get, and this is where actually I start to feel old and like I'm being left behind, because I cannot culturally relate to how it works. But it's sites like Plenty of Fish, which are essentially hookup sites, aren't they? And I haven't really got a problem with that. I think great, if young, willing people want to meet up and have sex with each other, great. It feels great to have sex with someone. Go for it. You've done it at least twice. I've done it once. And, I'm probably prepared.
It was good.
I'm probably prepared to do it again at a push. But
or a pull?
Maybe.
No, probably a push.
We'll see, yeah, probably a push. It depends who's about. But, and this is the thing, and I think, you can get a little bit Daily Mail about this and not really understand how they work. I followed a Twitter feed called Plenty of Fish Fails. The stream of pig-headed misogyny and just plain nastiness that seems to emanate from sites like that terrifies me, to be honest with you. But I guess, I don't know, are these kids well equipped to be on there? If you're a young woman and you're on there, do you expect men to be? It doesn't excuse men being shits, but do you partially expect it? Because a lot of these fails also include very sassy put-downs by the women that are being trolled by these horrible misogynistic twats. Oh, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Calling a misogynist a twat. Let's call them dicks.
Which arguably is misogynistic language.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm eating a banana.
Yeah, it is. I get, because one of my favourite words to use is the C word, and there's a debate about. Anyway, no, I was about to go off onto a digression about the C word then, and there's no good. Plenty of fish and that sort of thing terrifies me. I think I've said all I need to say about that. Have you finished eating that banana yet? Because I can't pad for anymore.
I don't
care how much you need potassium, Nick.
I can't wait until we fix all of the meanness and horribleness and misogyny and and racism and ableism and all of that other stuff, so that we get to a point where we can just use whatever language you want all the time.
I tell you what, right? I can't fucking believe. The fuck is that? There's this weird. It's a weird kind of almost see-through kind of bug on the desk.
Is that a silverfish?
I don't know. It almost looks like one of those. Like, it's tiny, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Don't touch it.
I'm not going to touch it. Why not?
Because so far there hasn't been an episode of Doctor Who that started with two guys podcasting and getting overtaken by a weird silverfish alien.
It's weird.
So it must be about.
I want to turn off the light, because I bet it's like one of those undersea things, and it's got those trippy colours.
In an infinite universe, there is an episode of Doctor Who that starts exactly like this already.
Yeah, probably.
Hang on.
Can you remember? Yeah, turn the light off. Oh, that's a real fucking shame.
Is it just not?
Yeah, it's not doing anything. On here, it looks a little bit scared, if you ask me.
You said about being left behind. It hasn't got a face. How can it look scared?
Just the way it's holding its body posture.
You're just obsessed with dead and terrified animals.
It looks pensive.
Hang on.
What are you doing now?
Textbook podcasting. I dropped a bit of banana on the floor.
Fucking hell.
They'll not let us use the studio again if there's a bit of banana on the floor.
I hope not.
They'll get ants and flies and stuff.
What was I talking about?
Can't remember. You were talking about dating. You said something about being left behind, and it made me remember something.
Okay, go on.
It made me remember that.
I know there's a half-finished thought there, and it's going to bug me now for weeks.
About 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I started a thought that started, I choose to think that Robin Williams was a better person than me.
Yes.
That just never went anywhere at all. So it's okay. We do half-assed thoughts. It's fine.
No, I don't know. I agreed with you, if I remember rightly, that he did appear to be a better person.
I know, but I'm sure I was going to try and make a larger point than just, I'm not nice about things.
He was funny. He was successful. Seemed very likeable.
I think it's been long enough. Anyway, so...
certainly by the time this goes out.
You said about being left behind. We watched, a few weeks ago, we watched the first episode of The Leftovers, which is a new TV series based on... a new HBO TV series based on a book. The show is written and produced by the writer of the book and Damon Lindelof, who did Lost, who I really like. Other people don't really like. I'm sure anyone listening to this is like, I'm sure they introduce a whole bunch of mysteries in the first episode that will never go anywhere. And, you're entitled to that opinion. We really liked the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect by the time that the listener listens to this, though, we will have either failed to watch any more episodes or be kind of over it by now and just want them to solve whatever it is they're doing. But it's basically set in a world after 2% of the population have just vanished, and it doesn't seem to, and it all happens over a few seconds, and it obviously there are religious connotations, but it doesn't seem that only good righteous people have gone, so no one knows where they've gone, but very much, and I'm hoping it stays this way, even though it's exactly what people want Damon Lindelof to do so they can bitch about it. But I'm kind of hoping that the story won't become about what happened. It'll just become about how people cope with it.
Yeah.
I watched it.
They're all in limbo.
I found it interesting because my first thought was, if 2% of people just disappeared right now, 2% of the people just disappeared and no one knew where they went, I didn't think I'd even notice.
No, and it would take a little bit of pressure off resources as well.
No, but that's true. But then you start thinking in terms of that's 2 people in every 100, but that means it's 200 people in every 1,000? Or 20 people in every 1,000? 20 people in every 1,000. 200
Sorry, I'm
people
still
in
looking at that insect. I'm barely listening.
When you look at a town the size of Southampton, if 2% of the people suddenly disappeared, at least a couple of people you knew would probably go in among that.
Depends, though, innit? I mean, I've only got 4 or 5 people that are really, truly close to me.
Yeah.
Everyone else, probably, I can live.
But then you wouldn't know. It seems so arbitrary that you just wouldn't. I mean, how would you make any plans? Well, they're kind of covering this in the first episode. How would you make any plans knowing that you don't know why people disappeared before, so they could just disappear again?
Would we be able to choose an area of the town where the 2% go from?
No. I see what you're getting at.
Well, I'd probably go with, there's an area in town called Chilworth. I'd probably go with that, to be honest with you.
That was not what I was expecting.
I am a class warrior. Why would I want my good working class brothers and sisters to go?
If all the people,
that's what you expected me to do, wasn't it?
If all the people in Chilworth went, as posh area is it?
Yeah.
If all the people in Chilworth went, then that void would be filled by people in the middle class, which is actually what you are and I am. And most of your working class brothers are actually middle class.
Yeah.
So, and then they just become upper class people. And if being an upper-class person is innately a bad thing, which I think is what you're getting at, then that would just be the ultimate betrayal. All the people around you that you love would become awful.
No, we'd smash capitalism. That's definitely what would happen.
Oh, no, of course, yeah. First you'd smash capitalism. It's not called looting when white people do it,
It's not been around that long. What was it, 1780s or so? Adam Smith wrote... make lots of money and hopefully the poorer get some crumbs from us. Something like that, wasn't it? It's not been about that long. It's not. There'll be other ideas after it.
Think of one right now.
Well, communism's another idea.
No, you didn't think of that. Someone else thought of that.
Oh, I've got to think of an idea all of my own.
Well, yeah, because you can say capitalism's been done, but most of them have been done and not worked.
Do you think Adam Smith was working under that pressure?
What if innately...
Think of a better way than the feudal system, Smith. I fucking dare you. Going, all right, I can't work under this pressure. Fucking come on, Smith.
Where was he from?
How about laissez-faire capitalism? I don't know.
Did he just change accents?
No, he was Scottish the whole way through. Definitely. There we
are. I feel like I'm in the room with Tony Slattery. It's amazing.
Yes, I never thought on a podcast I'd do an impression of Adam Smith. I'm quite pleased with myself. He definitely sounded exactly like that. To be fair, the system before that wasn't feudal anyway, was it? So
I don't have a fucking... Once you start talking about history, I don't know. I'm a futurologist. I'm a futureer.
Like Russell Grant.
Russell Brand?
Grant.
Is Russell Grant the one who looks to the future and sees a future where we are all just like, no, fuck governments, I don't care?
Yeah, like Brian Cox.
The guy who played Hannibal Lecter?
No, the guy that was upset with the lad because he brought his peregrine falcon into PE.
Which one's Richard Dawkins?
Oh, he's the one that lives in Rome in the Vatican City, isn't it?
Is that him?
I think so.
He's the one who came up with the Da Vinci Code?
That's right.
But wasn't that Da Vinci?
No. That was Selina Scott.
Who did the picture of the man with the 4 arms and the 4 legs? Or was it 6 arms and 6 legs?
I know Kate Bush did a song about it.
Did she?
The man with 4 arms and 6 legs.
What's happened to Kate Bush?
She's doing a series of live concerts very soon and asked people not to take photographs. Good luck with that.
Why is she asked? I mean, seriously?
She wants people... Yeah, no, seriously. It was in the news a couple of weeks ago. And she wanted it to be an intimate experience. So she's asked her fans... I think she's doing a run of 16 shows, none of which I've got a ticket for. So if you've got a spare Kate Bush ticket, listener, and you want to give it to me...
Or a video camera.
You want me to work your video camera for you, the Kate Bush. You want me to do the bootleg.
The bootleg Beatles.
I've turned into a Monty Python posh character.
Didn't happen. You didn't. The posh people didn't even have to disappear for you to start edging into their territory. So much for smashing capitalism.
Where do I get me butler from then? Eh? Oh, I'd so love to have a manservant.
Look, we haven't got time. We haven't got time to cover the actual article, so let's just cover the bare bones of the article. There was an article a few weeks back.
Sorry, Louisa.
By Louisa : that was the title of it was "Need Kids to Follow Instructions, Don't Ask, Tell." Now that's the headline. Pretty much sums up what she gets at in the article as well. Yeah. So we can go from that. I think it's the bare bones of it are she's talking about how giving children choices all the time because we like to feel like we're giving children choices and options. Even though they're not adults, we like to treat them like they already are. But if you ask them whether they want to do something that you actually need to happen, that is problematic. That's about right, isn't it?
Yes.
That it doesn't hurt to tell them if something needs to happen. If you've got a play date that you have organised or you have to go to the shops. Or
something that definitively has to happen.
Yeah, asking them if they want to is a bit... Well, on the one hand, it's counterproductive because it ends up disappointing them and maybe causing tears and slows down the whole process anyway when it has to happen. But at the same time, you think you're doing a nice thing for them by giving them choices, but all you're really teaching them is that arbitrarily you are going to take control at some... You are going to be the grown-up, but it might come out of nowhere and they won't be expecting it.
I've made the mistake myself on several occasions, and I still continue to do so sometimes because just I want to be relaxed around my daughter. And, sometimes she makes good choices, sometimes she makes bad choices. Most of the time she makes bad choices. She's 4. But I remember being we were in Mummy and Daddy's bedroom watching I've got the computer set up in there.
So not where she was conceived?
No, that's her room. She was in Mummy and Daddy's bedroom. We were watching a movie on Netflix because we've got the computer in there and it's got the better sound system. Mm-hmm. And I turned to her and without even thinking said, "Do you want to go to bed yet? You tell me when you want to go to bed." She didn't tell me when she wanted to go to bed. She wanted to stay up all night. I still had to tell her what time to go to bed. And she was aggrieved because I haven't said yet. Oh, shit, I know this. I know all this. This has happened before. I'm stupid.
It's like Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, all this has happened before and will happen again, undoubtedly. It's I was tempted to say after reading that, we all make that mistake. It's something you only do once. No, you don't. I think if you're quite a sort of progressive, sort of laid-back person, you just... Because that's how, apparently, I want to paint myself. That's the ideal me, apparently, Nick. But I'm maybe a little bit too much like that. But I will keep making that mistake over and over again, I've no doubt.
It does nicely prepare you for grown-up life, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The things you think you have a choice over, but actually you don't.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm just going to round that out. It was a very quick conversation about it, but our friend of the show, Kihar, of Dissecting Worlds, the excellent Dissecting Worlds podcast, did, in response to us talking about this a little bit, me talking about this a little bit a few weeks ago in our filler episode, said that a friend of his has taken to, who have two kids, have taken to telling their kids, do you want to go to the rubbish park or the good park? And there's only one park.
Brilliant.
But that's how they approach stuff like that. And apparently the older kid of the two is now old enough and is slightly in on the joke, so it's kind of become a family thing. Do you want to go? But I guess because Kihar is northern, they'd all have northern accents. Do you want to go there?
Do you want to go to park? Get to Whippet. Come on, let's go to park. Come on, we'll have pie, aren't we?
Rubbish park or good park?
Do you want to go to rubbish park or to good park?
Do you want to have a good pie or a bad pie?
What do you mean your consumption's playing up and you can't come out? You leave your mother's corpse alone and get up the park.
Fucking hell. I went a bit dark there.
Stop gnawing on her fibula.
Where? They're not cannibals.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that, Kia. Yeah, thanks. I bet you're glad you told us that.
Hey up, Kia.
So
gone down to pub.
So that I guess that's that. We've killed that subject. That's it, isn't it?
Aye.
You can listen to... Thank you for listening, listener. You can listen to all of our previous episodes at the site. That's twogrownmen.net, the number 2. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Pocket Casts or your podcatcher of choice. It's entirely up to you. But if you like what you're hearing, or even if you think it's okay but could be better, please do rate and review us at one of those places. It's a really good way of upping our profile a little bit and maybe sharing us with other people who might enjoy us. You can talk to both of us on Twitter. There is a Twitter account for the show. It's 2GM Pod, which I've hopefully by the time this episode goes out, I will have got into the habit of checking a bit more regularly and using.
I don't know what it is because I've not been allowed the password for that.
I've just been rubbish at sorting all of this stuff out. There is a mailing list at tinyletter.com/2GM. I didn't finish telling people how they could talk to us on Twitter, though.
Personing list.
You can talk to James on Twitter at...
I'm James, MOMB, James Momb.
And I'm Nick Sight. You can also email us. We're at...
it's, what is it?
2GM
podcast at gmail.com.
And I guess, I'm sure we're missing something, but we should go.
Dignity.
We are missing dignity. But at least we're not eating our parents.
That's true. At least we're good, fine, strapping Southerners. Or something, I don't know.
Bye, listener. You're
Bye-bye.
awesome.